Well, I'm doing some grinding. Cut a pretty big hole. There's my hand, you can see. I'm gonna do some grinding. I'm gonna get rid of all the bad spots. Grind it all back. I want to grind it back enough to get a nice clean fiberglass. I'm not sure if this looks like some kind of fairing compound. I should be able to smooth that out and paint over it. So I'm going to bring my glass from out here, and then I'm going to grind this side the same way, all the way around, all up in here. I'm going to have to cut a hole in the floor on the inside, which I'm going to do off of this so I can get from the inside. I'll show you that when I get there. Thanks a lot. I've tried 32 grit grinding disc. I've tried a 50 grit, which was great. 32 is too strong. This is a different type of wheel. The other one's ripped off. I'll show you after I'm done. But I'm just trying to smooth out where they patched it last time along here. Get nice clean fiberglass. And I'm going to continue. Well, I've grinded the bottom up. I wanted to show you guys. I bought a grinder, and this is the wheels I started with. This is, let's say it was 34 grit, which it certainly eats it up. It definitely takes stuff off quick. But the problem I had was, I don't know where they've gone out here, is that the disc wasn't used for very long, and it ripped right out of there, and that was a disappointment. And then the other one I put on, which was I think 50 grit, which was actually a little nicer because it wasn't eating it up as fast, and you had a little more control with it, and a little smoother, a little easier process than grinding down too far, because the other one could, you nick it just a little bit and all of a sudden it's gouged it quite deep. The 50 grit was better, but what I'm going with now is, I don't know the grit of it. I was trying to find it. I think this, let me take this off. It's a 120 grit, which is actually probably a little too smooth, but this style of bit is definitely the way to go. It's got a harder back. It doesn't flex like these do when you're cutting, because these will give you a nice curve. You can flex it like that when you're cutting, and I think that's why they're ripping. But I think they make a hard backer plate for these, so it prevents that. Anyway, that's what I'm going with. I like that a lot better than those ones. So I'm gonna get more of those. I'll show you all the grinding I did. I did some grinding up front just to see what was going on underneath. It doesn't look pretty, but it's actually smoother than it looks. I'm gonna try to eventually, this is just more cosmetic stuff later on down the line. I'm gonna be definitely having to do more grinding and sanding. But for now, I've got, let me kind of move back a little bit. I've got it cleaned back way further than I need to, but there's some little spots like this that I'm gonna have to fix with some kind of peanut butter. There's another one, but I've cleaned it back quite far. I'm gonna pull my boat up. I've lowered it back so I can get to certain spots, but I gotta pull it back up with the winch so I can get underneath that roller and clean that area up. And my next step is I am definitely going to cut a hole in the floor, which I really don't want to, but I have to, because it will give me much better results. And there's one of my stringers that needs to be fixed, so that's why I'm cutting the floor open. I can re-glass that stringer and make it a lot stronger. And that's the middle stringer, probably where it gets the most pounding. When the water's hitting the bottom of the boat, it's probably hitting there the most. And you can see it's broken loose. So I'm gonna cut the hole in the floor next, and then I can see from the inside, and I can do a lot better job of securing this floor and not having to worry about it. And one last thing, I started up in here, started grinding up in here. Get it to focus. I gotta pull it up pull my winch up further so I can get finish grinding that. I'm gonna set it down here. Two things you want. I did buy a Tyvek suit, but if you're gonna just jump in the shower after or blow yourself off the blower, you can tolerate this fiberglass. It's not as itchy as fiberglass up in the attic, but I did definitely, you want a pair of these for sure, and a respirator for sure, because you can see what you're doing. You're not worrying about stuff getting in your eyes, and that dust is nasty. So that's it for now. I'm gonna cut a hole up there right in between my two seat posts. I'm gonna match it to this, probably about the same size. Once I cut it open, I might have to make it a little longer just so I can get to both sides. I'm gonna cut it right in the middle of the stringer, so the stringer will be in the middle of it. And I'll videotape cutting that hole out, and you can see the inside, and then I'm gonna come up with an idea of what I need to do, and I'm gonna make it probably stronger than it ever was. So thanks for watching. Dogs barking.